everyone, Gina here with Belly Beads, here today to bring you a tutorial on these paper beads wrap bracelets. I had so much fun creating these, and they were also requested from a customer and a follower of mine, Shelly. So this one's for you, Shelly, and all of you, of course. So these were made with some suede and some leather, but they were all made with paper beads. So get your paper beads out and start creating. This is one of my favorites. This is like a seafoam green, and it wraps all the way around. And I love the heart clasp. So you can do just about anything. So let's get started. I am going to put this aside, and I'm going to show you all the paper beads that I have set out on which one to use for today's project. Now today I'm using the Eslon thread, which I love, and buttons. These are just plain buttons with a little hook in the back. And these are all the colors of the paper beads that I've created. So I usually lay them out here on my board to see which ones I'm going to use. I love the barrels. I love the diamonds. These are the Euro beads. Now these aren't glaze. These most of them are all matte finish, which I love because it has that authentic look to it. These are spacer beads, and these are my candy charms. These are the elongated candy charms, and what I did is I painted the edges, which really gave a different look to it, like a finished look. These are the shorter candy charm paper beads, and I've painted the back, and these are my spacers. Look at this purple. Isn't that adorable? So you don't have to leave it white, the edges. You can paint them, which I love because it really does give a finished look to it. And these are my other spacer beads. Now the spacer beads comes in all different sizes. These are the 8 millimeters. These are my diamond shapes. And these are my 8 millimeter rounds. And these are the 8 millimeter spacers. Now look at that. Isn't that orange really pretty? It pops. The color just pops. I love it. And all of these are made with my paper strips. All paper beads. Can you believe this? This is all paper beads made with that bracelet, and they are all glazed with PC petrifier. Now here are some beautiful colors that you can use and choose from. These are all suede, so look at the yellow, how the yellow works really well. Then we have like this orange peachy color that goes with the baby barrels, they're called. They're like an orange baby barrel. And then we got the pink, which is awesome. It goes with the pink spacer beads. And then we have our purple. The purple is everyone's favorite, pretty much. And then we've got like a fuchsia that can go with our pink elongated candy charms. So yeah, you can put anything with these beads. You can use the leather. Now these are the smaller baby barrels. They're painted. And the spacers are one of the most popular one, excuse me. I have a little cough, so excuse me. Yeah, so these are the larger barrels. Now with these, I didn't do the edges. I didn't color them different. These are the diamond shapes. These are great too because they have such different, it gives a different look to everything. So let's get started. I'm going to scoot this out of the way, and I'm going to bring in the supplies that are needed to create these fabulous wrap bracelets. Here is my Eslon or Ceylon, and I'm going to use leather cording today, scissors, my button, and the buttons. I mean, you don't have to use buttons. You can even use like a large ring like I did on this wrap. So the possibilities are endless. Now you can use this kind of threading. It's a silk threading. I wouldn't recommend cotton. It may tear after a while. but the Eslon is really great. Now we have these needles that I use. It's a big eye needle. I'll just put everything below. I will put a list of all the things I use, and I usually just thread this right through. And let me go ahead and show you the beads that I will be using today. They are my spacers, and I love how the browns go. It's going to go really well. So let me get these things out of the way, and I'm going to start with, you will be needing some Scotch tape, because we're going to use that to hold down the leather strips, or the leather cord, I should say. Now, if you want to size it, you can wrap the one cord around your wrist and then double it. It really depends on what you're looking for. You have to play around with it and just see what works for you. Now, I usually double, and I always have some extra cord on the ends of it, usually about 5 inches additional, because I like wrapping a knot with it. And here, let me show you with the ruler. This is 12, and then I have another like few more inches, which comes to 15. So around 15, 16 inches. And then with the Ceylon thread, you want to double that as well. You don't ever want to be short on that, because if you're in the middle of your project, to attach more thread, you don't want to do that. So you want to always make sure you have extra. You don't want to waste it, but you want to have extra. So let me get some tape. This is the best thing to do. There's several ways that you can use. You can even use like a clipboard. I just have this board underneath. So I'm getting the cording now. Sometimes it doesn't go through the hole, so you can just like get your scissors and clip it so it's on an angle, and then that'll thread it through quite easily. You want to make sure that your cording is the same size, as you can see here what I'm doing. All right, so then you want to make sure that both the ends are the same. And then we want to make a knot. Now you can make any kind of knot. On this one, it's called a snake knot. This, you can make it very simple, just a regular over the hand kind of knot, whatever kind of knot you want. You can even wrap wire around it if you want. But this is how I'm just going to make a real simple knot. And there you go. Now you can continue doing another knot, which I am again. I'm doing another knot. It's all what you want to do with it, whichever you like. So I've got 2 knots in there secured. Pull it. Keep making sure that it's nicely tugged, it's tight, and that's the back. You can fix the back if you like later or now, whichever you prefer. I'm going to grab some tape, and I am placing it on the board here that I have. Like I said, you can always use a clipboard too. And I just secure that nicely right there. And then I just go ahead and I do the same for the bottom. Now, you can spread the cords apart and tape them like I'm doing now, or you can put them together. After you have the sewing, after a few beads are sewn into it, it gets much simpler. It's beginning it is a little cumbersome. Excuse me. See how I'm spreading both the cords? It makes it easier, especially in the beginning. So you just want to go ahead and do that. Now we want to grab our thread. Now we want to grab the tail, not the entire thing. Just see how I have the tail? The tail is about 8 inches. You want to, and this is you don't want to use the other piece. You want to use just the tail, and I'll tell you a little bit later why. You want to grab the tail, and make a knot. Thread it underneath of the cord and make a knot. Make it securely tight. And you want to make it again. Just pull that really tight. And I'll get a little closer there. And you want to make another knot. Okay. And there you go. Now, with that end, that little piece of tail, you want to thread your first bead on it. I do fumble a little bit with this because the board keeps sliding on me. I do apologize. So you want to just go ahead, hold it with your finger. I usually get like a piece of tape and hold the tail, stick it to the board like I did there. I want to grab my other piece where my thread is through the needle. And I'm going to go, you're going to see right now, I will be going under. Remember, it's going to be under and over. So I'm going under it. As you can see, that little bead wants to run away. And you're going to go through the bead, but you don't want to go over the cord. So you want to, once I pull it through, you're going to notice I'm going to put it under. As you can see, I'm going under it. All right, then I'm going to go back through under. I'm going to go under the cord and through the bead under the other cord. And then over. And you'll see what I'm going to do now. Just try to keep everything snug just for the first few beads. They do have a tendency to want to scramble all over the place. So I'm just tugging and making sure everything's tight. Like I mentioned, the clipboard is a little bit tighter, but when you're doing this on the screen here, it's on YouTube, it's quite difficult. You're going to place another bead on. Now remember, that string is going to be going over the left side of the cord. Okay? And then, oops, sorry, just want to tuck this in here. See, they seem to get a little bit reckless down here on the bottom. I do apologize. I do this a little bit more than I should because this was the best way to record it. But we're going to get through it. It'll be fine. All right. So now we're going to go over and through. We're going to go under. The cord is over it. So under, through the bead, and under the other side. So remember, when you're putting it through the bead, it's going under. And I'll show you in the next one. Let's get the next bead. And we're going over, as you can see on the left side. We're going under on the right-hand side, going through the bead, under, and going under again on the left-hand side. So when you pull it through the bead, it's always going to go under. Okay, and then the left side goes over. Then the next bead. Now this is where it picks up and it gets a little bit more easier. Okay, so you see the left side, the cord is over. The right side, that cord is over. And then we go under. Oops, we're getting a little messy here. Let's fix that again. I do this a lot during the video. I apologize. All right, so then you're going to go over, under, through the bead, under the left side as well. And then you pull it through. So when you do put it through the bead, it's going under, through the bead, under again, and then over on the left-hand side. So now the next bead, we'll do it again. And we're going to go, see how the cord on the left is over? Okay, and then we have the cord, whoops, the cord is going over the right, now under, through, and under. So if you can see, the cord is going through the bead under both sides. The only time it's lapping over the cord is when you're putting on a new bead. That's about it. So there you go. So if you can see how that's over, then it's over again, and then you're going under. So when you go through the bead, you're going under your cord, under again. See how my finger had it? I'm trying to show you how it's under. There you go. So now after a while, this gets really nice because there's a momentum you get. And I apologize. I'm outside and the birds are chirping and the wind chimes are chiming, are ringing. So let me see if I can try to quiet that down a little bit. So as you can see, the momentum of it's getting a lot more easier. But the cord, if I had a longer cord, but then I would be wasting it. I can pull it all the way around. I can also tie the ends together on the bottom and get some string and wrap it around the whole entire box so it wouldn't move. But I think I've got it now. So here we go. So while that's happening, now that I've got the momentum going with the beads, I'll chat a little bit and see what we're doing here and what everybody else is doing. It's a beautiful day today in New Jersey. It really is. Now, as you can hear me, I apologize. My voice is a little strained. My asthma is kicking in. The flowers are out, but it is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be creative. This is a good time also to mention, if you're not part of my paper bead group, I highly recommend you go onto Facebook under Paper Beads Born Pretty and join. And we have a good time there. We post all kinds of different creative ideas, inspiration. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, so this is something that I have been doing for about 5 years now. And I'm always coming up with new ideas. I'm also a supplier of the paper bead strips. So if you're looking to purchase any paper beads strips, go on to bellybeads.com. Everything will be listed in the comments below. I'm sorry, in the description below. All right, so we're nearing the end here, and I'm going to show you how we usually tie this off. But I think this looks really nice. It looks like wood. It really does. It looks like wood beads, doesn't it? Okay. Whoops, we got a little tangled up there. So let me show you exactly how. There you go. And it's easy to get tangled up, so take your time. I was going to fast forward this, but I just figured it would be nice just to chat and talk and see how things are with everyone out there. If you have any questions, please don't ever hesitate. If you have any comments to make, if you do this already and you have other ideas, I welcome everyone's idea. Someone else always does something differently. So we all enjoy each other's work. And yes, please just go ahead and comment below. All right, so I think we're coming towards the end right now. Have a few more beads. And this is the fun part too, because there's so many ways of making wrap bracelets. There's a ton of ways. And even if you surf the internet or just look on YouTube, so many of us do it differently. But I found that this was the easiest way for me because I was very fearful of, in the beginning when I did these, they would fall apart. So I just found a way that the knots would stay in. I'm so grateful for that though. And that's just, again, just watching YouTube channel and watching other people do it and just learning. All right, so I I'm going to, we near the end, I'm going to go through this last bead, okay? I'm going to go through the last bead just like so. It's giving me a little bit of a hard time. Pull it through. This is where we're going to knot it, which is really great. Okay, so now we're going to get our needle. We're going to go under the one bead, as you can see. Hopefully you can see this. I tried zooming in, and we're going to grab our thread, and we're going to wrap it around the needle itself, just like so. Hold on to everything, and look, see the knot? Look at that. And watch what the knot does after I'm completed that. Hold on to it. Then we're going to pass it through again, the over top. I'm going to pass through it again. And look at this. Watch this. It pops. Look at that. You don't even see the knot. I love this technique. All right, so we're going to make sure it's even more secure. We're going to grab our needle. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me fix this again. All right, so we're going to get our needle and we're going to pass it through our other bead. Usually we go underneath. And I think that, here we go. Pass it through. And be careful with this needle. I've gotten poked so many times with it. It's so sharp. All right, so we pass it through the one above. We're going to do it once again. Get the needle, get the thread, wrap it around, pull your needle, and there you go. Be careful. Okay, now one more time, we're going to go back through there, the other bead, pull it, and you're going to actually hear a pop. See how the thread, the knot, it goes inside the other bead, which I love. Now, be very careful, please. When you cut this, I apologize, there's a plane above me. When you, yeah, there we go. Get the scissors. Now, don't do what I did last time. I cut the entire thread. Not only did I cut the thread, I cut the entire bracelet. So be very careful. You can put some gesso on it, but like I said, I really like everything authentic. And I don't like to have anything else. That is secure, but if you feel like you need more, I totally understand. And that's fine. That would be up to you. All right, so I just kind of straighten it out. Now I'm going to make another knot. You can do however you want to end this, because those knots are securing those beads so well. However you want to do this. And there's so many other ways you can tie knots, tie beads to the ends of it. And I'm just doing a simple knot, making sure that it's all even, taking my time to make sure that it's not crooked, and just securing it. Okay. And sometimes working with leather tends to be a little cumbersome, but just be patient with yourself. All right, so now we've got the knot. We're going to deal with, remember that tail that we had hanging at the top? We're going to fix that as well. All right, so I'm going to undo all of this because I'm going to show you exactly. We're going to open up the needle, remove the other thread that you had in there, thread the tail end of it. Now this is a little bit cumbersome because we're doing it the opposite way and it's a shorter string, but we're just doing the same thing we did on the bottom. We're putting it through the bottom of the needle. Now you got to make sure that you have enough thread to wrap it around the needle, and sometimes you got to bend your needle. Now that's what I was talking about. You got to have a long thread. Sometimes I don't like wasting my my needle. I'm sorry, wasting my thread. So I go ahead and just make it a little bit shorter. So I'm kind of bending my needle right there. All right, so we're just making another knot. Watch this. So here we go. We put it through. We wrapped around the thread around the needle, and voila! There you go. You got a nice little knot. That is really secure. Then we're going to put it through the bead and, oh, I think I put it through the second bead, which I should have put it through the other bead. I apologize. Might have to take that out. I meant to put it through the first bead, but that's okay. I could just take it out, no worries. And you know what I like about this silk Ceylon? It's so easy to work with. It doesn't fray and it doesn't do any of that, which I love, because when you have when you have things that fray, then your whole bracelet is ruined. So it's like a silk. All right, so I took that out and I'm putting it through my first one. And I think, let me try it again. You know what? We can put it through the second one, I think. That's fine. That'll work. And then we're going to snip it. Usually I could put it through the first. Sometimes I put it through the second. It doesn't matter though. And there we go. And you want to fix it all up. Now, at this point, you can measure the hole for the button. So the clasp, so when you put it around your wrist. Now, I tend to like my bracelets a little bit larger. This is a little bit small, so I'm gonna make another. Yeah, I could still do it, but it's a little tight for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this knot, or just make it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to undo it, and then I'm going to make it another knot, but a little bit closer to the other one. So we've got two knots hanging, and then I'm going to create another hole, which is a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more, it's down more from the cord, which will allow more length. And there you go. And that's a great way to be an easy fix if you're selling these at a craft fair or something and it doesn't fit someone. All right, so here we go. And that's it. We've got it done. I have to fix my beads. I have to stretch. When you stretch them out, they'll be a little bit more straighter. And there we go. We have all of our beads, wrap beads done, our wrap bracelets. So thank you for requesting this, Shelly. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, I would love for you to be a subscriber. It really helps with my channel growing. And remember to visit bellybeads.com.